Hey guys, welcome to our channel. Today we're going to be talking about something that recently came out. Allison and Scott, the movie. Just kidding. It's the Teen Wolf movie.
The movie where if you haven't seen this show, you wouldn't fully understand what's going on.
The movie opens up at a Japanese restaurant where we see Liam with the girl who we later find out is named Kari.
Keep in mind, this is all taking place 15 years later in their universe.
So some unknown cloaked guy walks in and immediately starts saying riddles.
One is a door, not a door.
Sorry?
What if she actually didn't know what he was talking about and he stood there accusing her for no reason?
I mean, he had absolutely no idea who she was. She's a new character, and what if she didn't even go to their high school? Everyone in the restaurant who we previously thought were customers actually aren't when they all pull out guns, which is considerably pointless because they just let the threat run out the door and nobody follows after him.
Anyways, I guess we don't get to see if Mr. Grumpy Old Troll does anything else with Liam and Hikari because the scene just ends with him releasing the Nagitsune and leaving them on the floor.
Already, the movie's off to a very rough start. It's only been 5 minutes and things are moving very fast, but maybe things will get better now that we are introduced to the Alpha.
The Alpha.
Basically, Scott comes to rescue a dog and a little girl, assuming there are no other people. I mean, really, could you imagine if there actually was?
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Hello? We need
Over
help.
here. Over here.
Where are you going?
Why are your eyes red?
Come back. Help! Help! I need some insurance!
What are you guys calling again?
The Alpha.
Right. Like a dog.
No. Like a wolf.
Already, the movie wastes no time jumping into the plot. Scott is hallucinating a girl who, if you don't know, died in season 3. Meanwhile, Argent somehow gets into the basement of the animal shelter and starts talking about how he's also seeing the same girl.
You're seeing her too.
Oh, and yes, they're talking in third person. They don't mention who she is for a while. So you can see how this would be confusing for someone who hasn't seen the show.
She was suffering.
Allison.
Who's Allison?
Who is that?
Like, who is Allison?
Who is she?
Who's
Where did
Allison?
she come from? Where did she go? It's pretty clear that Allison is an important character, considering her name was written down multiple times on the worksheets that Lydia had.
It's a little concerning, honestly, that it took a group of people from her company to realize that's what she had done, but I don't know. In the time span of 10 minutes, we get some warm-hearted reunions. This guy appears to eat some pizza and solve puzzles. We have Superman, I mean Derek, being a dad to his thief of a son. And we unfortunately witness some... Yeah, I don't understand the thought process behind any of that. What were the writers thinking?
Alright, listen, this movie needs to be hot. Scott and Leah, done. Who can we put her with?
Right, Scott needs to be with Allison again. What about Liam?
No, he's too young.
Right, Derek.
That's her cousin.
Never mind.
What do you think, Greenberg?
Related. What about Coach?
Let me think about it. No.
The cop?
Which one?
Stilinski? No.
Wait. Parrish.
Parrish. If we're gonna put them together, we need it to be hot. Shocking.
Then, all of a sudden, this happens.
What is always in front of you but can never be seen.
Future.
What's going on? It's like a bleeding. What? What?
That's right. Argent was actually possessed by the spirit and tricked the others into doing a ritual that ended up being successful and nobody ended up talking about for the rest of the movie.
Hey boss, I have a great idea.
Interrupting my studies again, Greenberg. This better be good.
Alright, hear me out. I know how we can get a mature rating.
Alright.
On the movie.
Okay.
Argent dropping the F-bomb.
Genius.
You're
Right.
promoted.
Right? You are promoted.
Darkness, you motherfucker!
So Allison eventually wakes up in the hospital, and just like any sane person would, she goes on a violent streak, which isn't surprising at all considering her very violent history from the show.
After a nice heartfelt moment between Derek and his son, it seems as if Allison found her way to the school and decided to, kill Derek.
Or at least make the first attempt on his life. So our thoughts on if Liam and Hikari made it out of there alive are actually resolved when they show up to save Derek.
This is also the point in the movie where we finally get the romance that we've been waiting for.
There's some small chance that it's her, that it's really Allison. You have to find her and stop her and help her remember who she was.
Which is all short-lived and not much happens because Allison decides that nearly killing Derek is not enough for her and she needs to go and attack his 15-year-old son.
His innocent 15-year-old son.
Okay, I mean,
That was kind of cool. I mean, they wasted their entire budget on it, but you know what? It was worth it. That was kind of cool.
So for the next few minutes, all we see is all of the side characters getting captured by the Oni, who, if you don't know, are from season 3 of the show.
Surprise, surprise.
That's what it's from.
Derek, Stilinski, Eli, Deaton, they're all gone.
I mean, I don't know. If you ask me, I think the Oni are kind of cool.
I know they're supposed to be bad guys and all, but they're pretty cool. I mean, I would let them capture me. I'm sorry, but can we talk about this green screen? Like, seriously, what was their budget and why did they spend it all on the explosion? Because this green screen literally looks horrible. This looks worse than what we have. And why is Peter getting down on all knees, smelling blood off of the floor? He's a wolf. He could do that standing up.
I mean, in the show, if you can capture the smell from far away, I'm pretty sure you can catch it 2 feet up from where it is.
There's blood.
It seems our issue is an unknown substance that we can't seem to identify within our system. I think we're gonna need an alpha. All right, bring them in. Whoa, you're gonna step
Did
in.
someone call for an alpha?
You're stepping in the unknown substance.
This is it? This is it. I've seen many like this in my lifetime. I know how to handle this.
Excuse me, what are you doing?
Ma'am, do not question my work ethic. I'm a professional here.
Can you identify the substance or not? That is highly disturbing and inappropriate.
Yep, that's piss.
That's disgusting. Out of the number of things that I see wrong with this movie so far, one of the things that has stuck with me even now is the way that they're portraying Jackson's character. I mean, I knew he was kind of an a-hole, but like, he wasn't that bad. They didn't even make him mean. They just kind of
Turned him into a himbo.
What does that mean?
But what do detectives do anyway? Do they like go to the scene of the crime and detect something?
So we find out that not only is Scott the true alpha, which we already knew, but that he's also a master manipulator. I mean, come on, it's like he took a page out of Manipulation 101 saying,
If you still don't believe me, fine. Let me die. You're gonna have to save me.
It seems to be a reoccurring theme from the beginning of this movie that they fail to explain the events that are taking place. At this point, we don't even know where these characters are. Are they underground? Are they in an alternate universe? If you ask me, it kind of looks like the Upside Down.
And of course, like any other film, the bad guy turns good to help out the main character. But the funniest part is 15 years later in 2 failed, forgotten relationships, Scott is still in love with a girl who's mentally 17.
Because I'm still in love with you.
Remember that guy from the beginning of the movie? Well, we finally get to the most anticlimactic reveal of our entire lives. That's right, we finally find out who this hooded figure is.
He kind of looks like our chemistry teacher.
I was your chemistry teacher, Jackson. You fucking imbecile.
It seems like this chemistry teacher has some sort of unsettled vendetta with Jackson, because even though he stated that he wasn't even there, and he wasn't for half of the things that happened to him, he just continues to threaten him back to back.
And you served me up as a human sacrifice to some demented druid.
I was in London for all of that.
I will say, after all the events that have taken place, the best part of this movie is that the coach lets a 30-year-old man on the lacrosse field, and nobody seems to question it. Well, except for this guy.
Where did this kid come from? Is he even in high school? He looks like he's 30. Who the hell is that?
That's Greenberg.
We're gonna let it slide that coach let this 30-year-old on the field, just because his character is funny. And one of the only great things about this movie.
I've felt this level of disappointment since I lost my virginity.
And after 2 long, brutal hours, we finally find out the reason why they broke up America's most beloved couple.
So, Miss Martin, tell me what brings you in today.
I'm here to talk about my ex,
Styles. Okay, and what happened between you guys?
I had a dream.
And what happened?
That's it.
I'm sorry.
I had a dream. Oh, and we couldn't get Dylan in the movie. Psh. Honestly, there was probably a better way for them to write out Styles, but this reasoning didn't seem that well thought out.
It's kind of a boring way to go, too. Imagine seeing your character and you're like, that's how they wrote me out? Really? That's it? Of course, we get a beautiful montage moment of Allison remembering her past, where they effectively cut out Styles and essentially made it into a fan edit of Scott and Allison.
In the final fight, the Nickets and Ace plan to kill Scott backfires when he turns into a werewolf, and from there, Derek proceeds to sacrifice himself while he burns to death, and the entire pack watches.
And it's the fact that not only did he sacrifice himself, but while the pack watched, not one person told him not to do it. Even though Scott is the alpha, instead of comforting the now fatherless Eli, he proceeds to go and kiss his dead, my bad, now alive ex-girlfriend in front of the poor boy crying on the floor, grieving the loss of his father. And not just that, while Scott's doing that, everyone else is hugging each other and being like, oh, we're still alive, blah, blah.
So the movie ends with Scott and Allison living happily ever after, and Eli basically becoming an orphan. Oh, and adopting a dog.
Honestly, when they wrote this movie, it just seems like they forgot about everything that happened in the show. I mean, Liam and Mason were best friends, and now they aren't. I don't even think they had a conversation together. We mentioned earlier that Styles was taken out of Allison's little remembering moment, but they also didn't talk about Kira at all. I don't think anyone said her name, did they? Not once. I mean, at least Styles had like 3 mentions.
Oh, and by the way, in case you were wondering, that chemistry teacher from earlier, yeah, he got locked up in a mental hospital after this.
The kids, the teenagers, they're werewolves!
Say,
Do you have stage fright?
I do.
Would you ever do a mukbang?
Yeah, we'll publish it.
That'd be expensive.